Hello, everyone. Welcome to Eight Letters Book Talk. I'm so happy to be here again. On behalf of Cindy Wong, I am hosting today's book talk. And with us right now is a very good friend of mine. I have known her since, I don't know, since 2015 or 2014. Okay, she's one of the people who helped me become an indie author myself. And I am happy and honored to be hosting this book talk with her. So without further ado, may I introduce to you Maita Rue, author of Steamerella. And I would say, this is very bold of me to say, but I do think she's the queen of steampunk in Philippine literature. I haven't seen any steampunk, novel. She always does that. I mean, she's the only steampunk author I know. So let's see. Hello, Maita. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to A
Hi,
Letters.
Chris.
Hello again.
Thank you.
After MIBF. Hello, hello.
Yes.
How was it like? How was it like to be in in the MIBF? I mean, I know that you're based in Davao now, so how was it like to be reacquainted with the Manila audience?
It was hectic. I am not gonna lie. It was hectic because there's so many books. You'll get overwhelmed because
Mhm.
you want to take home all the books. And there's so many authors to meet new ones, meet the old ones, reconnect with the old ones. I tried my best to reconnect with everyone. I'm sorry for the ones na sinabihan ko, let's meet na hindi tayo nag-meet. It's super sikip. Hindi hindi talaga nagka we were in the same event because I was
Yes,
there the
yes.
whole time. But you know, ang daming tao. And here's the thing: I promised myself this year that when I buy books in MIBF, they were only gonna be local books. I'm not gonna buy any international
Oh,
books, which I did.
thank you
Yeah,
so much.
support
Yes, I saw
local.
your book haul. I saw your book haul. All
Yes.
right, now let's.
So yeah.
Well, that's also the thing, because you're there as part of Eight Letters, but you also sold your books, right? Can you tell us
Yes.
about these new releases that you have?
Yes. So I have a new release, which is my high school fairy tale and the Kitchen Kings Challenge. Those two are contemporary romance. Um, it's a deviation from the usual thing that I have been doing, which
Mm-hmm.
is the steampunk one and some of my paranormal line. Um, Here's the thing, kasi when it's in your head, it just begs to be written. So um, when like this one is new newly printed. It's newly
Mm-hmm.
printed and it is available in 8 letters. This one is I've printed a few copies for this just for the MIBF. Ito yung aking di naman siya sold out. May natira pa talagang isa. The
Mm-mm.
display copy.
Gorgeous
But thank
cover.
you.
Ang ganda ng
Thank
cover,
you.
grabe. Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not the queen of steampunk in the Philippines. It's just that
Why?
It's
Okay.
just that merong iba, pero I don't know, siguro matira-matibay akong natitira.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to buy before, because nga I was starting to write steampunk, and then I decided, hey, support, sige, I'll buy your book,
Mhm.
and I don't know where they are now, pero I'm still here. And it
So
also
the
helps
Cinderella is
that
different from right? From it's not in the same universe. It's a totally
same
different
universe. This is
genre.
the
Oh,
same universe.
same universe.
This one, let me show you na lang. They're all part of stories from the Steam Theater. So
Alright.
this is Steamerella, my
Mm-hmm.
bestseller. It's one of the earlier books that I have written. So it was published 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
pero it's still my bestseller. I think because it's a classic with a twist.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just the usual, we know how Cinderella goes, di
Cinderella,
ba?
yes. Yeah.
Yep. Inaapi-api siya ng kanyang step family, and then in comes your fairy godmother who saves the day by granting you something to wear, takes you to the ball, and in the ball you catch the eye of the prince, and
Mhm.
the rest is history. Now I wanted to give it a little twist because I like writing strong female characters.
Yeah.
I like inspiring others, especially girls, young
Mhm.
girls, to be your own strong female characters. You don't have to be rescued by the prince, but it is nice to have a helping hand. So in
It's nice to have that
Steamerella,
romance. Okay.
yeah, that too, that too. So in Steamerella, instead of her having a glass slipper, she has a
Mhm.
glass leg. Kasi
Oh.
nung carriage accident, may carriage accident nung bata pa siya. It kind of injured her, so one leg and one arm naputol nung carriage accident na yun. And that's also the same carriage accident where her mother died. So yung tatay niya, iba, so merong pamilya yung tatay niya, in-incorporate siya doon, and
Mhm.
for some reason nagkasakit yung tatay niya and namatay. So she's left with the stepmother and the stepsisters, and they couldn't accept her because hindi naman siya talaga kadugo nila. So
Mhm.
inaapi-api siya. So in comes her fairy god phantom, not mother,
Not mother.
phantom. Because what ties all these together is actually a character, the phantom of the Steam Theater. He is the manager there. So he's kind of like the phantom of the opera. Pero, hindi naman siya tago. So everybody
Mhm.
knows him and he's well respected in society. And so he runs the Paris theater, but he comes to England to also establish another theater branch, kumbaga. So he's doing that. He's establishing branches. And when he got there, and he's like, "Hey, meron akong goddaughter. Saan na napunta yon?" And pagkita niya, oh my gosh, anong
Mhm.
nangyari sa'yo, di ba? Tapos, so, sabi niya, okay, okay, I'm going to give you mechanical limbs. I'm going to
Mhm.
help you. I'm going to set you up in society. So, kinuha niya from the ano to, stepmother, and then trinain niya because he's in the theater, trinain niya magsalita, mag-perform, mag-dance, all that. And then sabi niya, okay, what is it that you really, really want? Eh medyo palaban tong aking Cinderella.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
said, I want revenge against my
Oh wow,
stepsisters and
that's the
stepmother.
twist. That's the
Yeah.
twist.
Yes.
Okay.
And ang pina ano niya is for them not to get the Duke's son. So hindi siya prince,
Uh-uh.
Duke's son.
Okay.
So si Phantom is like, "Oh, easy lang 'yan. I will make you the most intriguing woman in the Duke's son's eye." He
Mhm.
doesn't really like pretty kasi hindi naman talaga siya pretty. Hindi siya conventional pretty. Sabi niya, okay, I will make you intriguing such that his focus is solely on you.
Mhm.
The rest of that is up to you na. So, okay, I will even get you an invitation into that party. So, okay, kaya naging glass yung limbs niya. Kasi gusto niya
Mhm.
parang the 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 attention, everyone's attention will be on her. So during the party, when she dances, you're so delicate because glass yung iyong arm, glass yung iyong leg. Everyone's so transfixed, including our Prince Charming. And there are more twists and turns after that, which you guys will have to download
Yes.
to find out. Yeah.
Download or to order, right? Because the
You
print,
can
there are
order
more prints
also
pa ba?
from
Right? Yeah.
the prints.
Oh,
I think I think Eight Letters is doing print on demand, diba? I sent
yes,
that
yes.
in a Cindy. So you
Mm.
can download, I think, from the website. Am I correct?
Yes, you can order from the website. Okay, I have a
Yes.
question because I like it. All of these are, syempre, I'm a Francophile. Though. All of these are set in France. Wink, wink.
London. Well, some of
Ah,
them in France.
London.
Most of them are in London.
Okay, what still, parang gusto ko, bakit hindi ako nakakakuha ng ano, ng copy nito no MIBF last week. Dami ko sinend tao. But anyway, I'm really intrigued as well because, you know, parang recently I watched this, this Drew Barrymore Cinderella story, Ever After. If you know that, that was in the
Yeah,
'90s,
yeah.
late '90s. So that's a
Yes.
different take already from the usual Cinderella plot. But yours is, it takes it further. So I was really quite surprised with she wants revenge, parang babangon ako, tudurugin kita, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Very
yeah, it's
Marimar.
interesting. Yeah, Marimar. It's really an interesting take on Cinderella because we've known her for being frail and kind, but of course, hindi siya ganun ka-realistic, di ba? Pero yung sa story mo, ang galing ah. I mean, why did you set this all up na number one, may revenge, and number two, naka-steampunk, ganyan. Why not, for example,
Well,
Victorian era lang
it is
without
Victorian
the,
era,
without the
but
mechanical things, right?
mm, that one. Actually, here's the thing, Chris. Itong mga stories ito are all talagang in my head.
Mm.
Kaya parang some people will be wondering how come I write in different genres. It's I feel like I don't want to be bound by a genre. It's just that there's so many stories in my head, and when a scene strikes me, and I don't write linear kasi din. When a
Mm-hmm.
scene strikes me, I just run to my laptop or my computer, and then I just type it all out, type it all out, type it all out. With Steamerella, this is one of the stories that I wrote from start to beginning, dire dire
Mm.
diretso.
Linear
Because
siya.
yeah, because the story just jumped into my head. It started out, I forgot why I wrote this. I remember I was asking myself, but kailangan glass slipper? It's so
Mm.
impractical. Kung ganun
Yeah.
naman, let's do something
Mhm.
even more impractical. The leg, the whole leg. Let's make it glass. And then you nag-start. So when you read Steamerella, the Duke's son, when he was really looking at her glass arm and her glass leg, you can see tiny mechanisms, yung mga gears na nagatick sa loob. Kasi it works eh. It's not like prosthesis
Mhm.
na parang Barbie
Yeah.
ganyan lang ba. This one actually is very articulate and will really dance with her. So talagang nai-intrigue siya, 'di ba? Parang wow, mechanical, something interesting. And it's glass, so you can really see yung parang skeletal
Mhm.
mechanical insides of it. I wanted to be gritty that way, but at the same time, I like the theater. So yeah, there's going to be scenes in the theater. A lot
You
of
know,
them will be.
I'm envisioning it as, a graphic novel, and I think it would really be awesome to see
I
that,
wish.
to have it. Yeah, I mean, why
I wish.
not? Why not? Diba? Meron na tayo nakakapag graphic novel. Why not? Okay. I'm just I'm just throwing these ideas in your head. I'm
I
throwing these
really, really,
ideas
really
in you.
wish. But if
Diba?
if if in the future I can team up with an artist because I really don't have time. I'm doing
Mhm.
so many things, writing so many things that I can do one or two pieces of art for something na graphic novel long.
Mhm.
Parang hindi ko na kaya yan. Although
Kakayanin mo. I mean, in the
I
future.
did, I did make a So this is also the same universe, but these are only available on Amazon because they're all short. They're
These
not
are
quite.
these are, what do you call these, adaptations of fairy tales, because I see the
Yes,
shoemaker's daughter.
it
What is
started
that, the
that way.
Christmas dance? Oh my gosh, you're giving me all these. It's
The
like you're
Christmas
dangling
dance
this candy cane in front
started
of
as the
me.
Little Match Girl. The Christmas dance started as a
Oh.
little Match Girl. As for
Ayoko
Steam
na ganyan
Singer,
kasi baka bigla ako
huh?
mag-check out sa Amazon.
Go
You're
lang. Some
dangling
of
these.
these are only 99¢. So they
The
range from
covers are
99¢ up to
gorgeous.
$4.99. Yeah. So they're all same world nga, same world as the other three books, and they're all
Mhm.
strong, strong characters, and not na overt ang kanilang romance, all except
Mhm.
Steam Singer, sorry, this pinaka last one sa dulo, Steam Singer. Yan wala siyang ka-love team. Kasi in my
Mhm.
head, meron siyang a different story. Dito bata pa siya, so wala pa 'yan. As
Mhm.
for Christmas dance, I wrote it during Christmas, just before the pandemic struck. It started as Little Match Girl, except of course the Little Match Girl, 'di ba parang sad nung ending, namatay siya.
Yes, tragic,
I didn't
yes.
like that. I don't like sad endings. So I wanted something you know, somebody give her a helping hand, save her.
Mm,
And so there's this little kid na medyo playmate niya kasi dalawa silang bata. And naawa sa kanya. And so this
mhm,
this boy, Nathaniel, was asking for help from random people na, hey, help this girl. Kawawa naman siya. Mamamatay siya out in the cold. Diba yun
mhm,
ang nangyari kay Little Match Girl. And nobody wanted to help because everyone's thinking she's just a street urchin. She's just gonna die. And so, yep, the Phantom comes to the rescue again and asks the boy, okay, I will save her. What will you give me in exchange?
mm,
So the little boy, because walang kamuang-muang na little boy, you will assume he's like 8, 9 years old. And so of course, sabi niya, okay, I'll give you anything. And sabi nung Phantom, okay, 10 years from now, I will come to collect. So kinuha niya yung girl, he saves the girl. 10 years later, unfortunately for Nathaniel, siya yung naging poor.
aha, aha,
And then the Phantom comes to collect. So paano yan? Wala siyang pera. That's
mm,
when the actual story begins.
goods. Ang sipag, I mean, um, 'di ba there are two ways to building this universe. One is you create a series like si J.R.R. Martin, 'di ba? He created this
Mm.
world. Ikaw, pa ano ba, hindi sila part of the same, it's not like a series. So, walang
No, you
continuation,
don't have
right?
to read them in you don't have to
Yeah.
read them in a linear way. Nothing
Mm.
is
Kahit
talagang
ano pwede,
has to
'di ba?
be. Yeah. But
And
they are all
the one tying them up is the
yeah,
Phantom,
the one that's tying them together is the Phantom, or more importantly, the theater.
the theater. So, paano mo
Yeah,
na ano
that's
yun? How did you strike the balance na, okay, lahat ito in this universe, but why that universe in particular?
actually, it all just revolved around the theater at first. Nag-revolve lang siya into this bigger universe because of that. In my head, I was really,
Mm.
I really wanted to. I have this parang plan of what this theater would look like, how many
Mm.
mini theaters are in it. May gallery siya, may restaurant siya, how many dressing rooms it has. Na-inspire kasi ako sa yung mga old theater. And yep,
Mhm.
Gaston Leroux's Phantom of the Opera. But also, some years back, before the Metropolitan Theater was renovated, yung nasa Manila, before it
Mm.
was renovated, nakapasok ako doon. They let us in. I have no idea how my friend, that time friend pa siya, got me in there. But we went in, and then I started to look around because I'm really intrigued by old places. And nakita ko,
Mhm.
hey, para siyang Phantom of the Opera. And look, nahulog pa yung chandelier here. Kasi ano yun na-bomb yun during the war. And it wasn't fixed. Ngayon na lang talaga siya na-fix. So makita
Mhm.
mo, wow, there's a ballroom in the Met Theater, an actual ballroom with golden glass mirrors on one side, and then the society na kung ano yung mga little rooms there, dressing room, hindi. Rooms pala where they play cards. So, you
Mhm.
play cards, some people dance, and talagang wow, may courtyard pa yun sa gitna just for the
Wow.
actors kasi they do the bigger actors, they do sleep in the theater. Meron silang parang apartment there. And they have a courtyard with a garden. Na talagang wow, the opulence of it. Ngayon isipin mo, we're gonna turn that into this. It's big. And yeah, mother of all old theaters is in Europe. So I decided to set it in Paris and London, where the big
Mm.
theaters of that time were. And of course, I made my own because I needed some creative control. And because this is steampunk, things do move. There are hidden
Mm,
passageways. There are little automatons who will run around, usher you to your seat, get you whatever you need, move stage props around. So it is a little heavy with the technology, and they make use of that in the theater.
mhm. You know, to be honest with you, Martha, I'm not a fan of steampunk. Siguro because of yun nga, the machinery. Kasi I kind of have the same feeling towards sci-fi. Kasi nga may ganon, na parang I'm having trouble imagining it. But seeing these covers, hearing you talk about these stories, para kung, I'm really getting more interested now. Kasi parang naiengganyo ako dun sa opulence, yung gano'n. Tsaka siguro din, it's because it's tied to our past. Of course, this was set in the Victorian era, ganyan. So parang,
Yes.
oh, ang ganda, no? Parang, this is something that I can only watch probably on TV. I mean, unless nga
Mhm.
I buy something na I can
Crossing
visually.
fingers na
Yeah.
merong kukuha nito as a movie deal, di ba?
Oh,
Or
oy, ay,
series
oo
deal or
naman.
something.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So let's cross our
Mhm.
fingers. Kasi ang
Also,
ganda niya tignan
also,
visually, eh. Yeah.
mhm. Did you know that Escolta or Manila in
Mhm.
general at that time was called the Paris of Asia because we had the first theaters in Asia and we had a
Yeah, yeah.
lot of them.
Mm, mm.
So also that I love our history. Um, it's kind of bloody then, but you're going to get intrigued. And I did try to put. Of course, it's not set here, and even if it's set in London, it's a fictitious London that
Mhm,
you know. So it's my interests because of the theater. I love Broadway. I love theaters. I like the old
Old
Baroque
City, yeah.
style, romantic style, Victorian style, even Renaissance style. So one of the theaters is medyo Renaissance style. There's a lot of
Mhm,
theaters kasi being owned by the Steam Theater. One of them is the Octagon Theater, which is
mm,
octagonal in shape and pabilog siya. So the audience is around and the stage is nasa gitna, which is quite like the Globe Theater. Diba parang medyo pabilog din ang Globe Theater, octagonal ang kanyang shape. So it does take little elements of those. I did do my research while writing and before writing because I just really like history. Is part of the things
mhm,
that I like doing. So, yeah, lahat sila will be tied together by the theater,
mhm,
and the theater does use technology to bring the performance alive, which is also kind of uh, inspired by Cirque du Soleil, because Cirque du Soleil uses technology in their
yeah,
performance. Mayroon silang mga hydraulic ganun ganon.
yes.
How can
And I
you
love the
how can you
costumes.
yeah, and the costume. So how can you bring the hydraulic pumps into the Victorian era through steampunk?
Siguro yun din, because you mentioned yung hydraulic pumps, etc. I think one of the reasons why I have a love-hate relationship with it is because I also cannot write it. I know I cannot write it. And so what is your like advice? Probably the best advice. That one and best advice for authors who want to try their hands at steampunk. What's the most important thing that they should do?
For one thing, do not stop writing. There is
Mhm.
no rule to steampunk. I mean, some people would say na there are certain rules to certain genres. The pinaka rule lang naman of steampunk is it is set anytime between what's this Victorian, and some of them actually goes as early as Regency era, all the way up to the
Mhm.
Victorian and Edwardian. So Edwardian right after Edwardian era. So there is that time limitation. But as far as technology goes, there isn't. Kasi like some steampunk will have a lot of guns and blunderbuss that shoots ether, that shoots laser guns. I don't have that.
Mhm.
Most of my technology revolves around mechanical and steam and mechanical. So right from the start, you as the master of your universe will have to set that up. There are some steampunk books that I've read where they have what do you call this, magic involved. There is a steampunk series that I love and read all the time. Meron siyang vampires and werewolves with the steampunk universe nila. So it is you, the author, who sets your tone and who sets your universe. So uh, keep on writing, but don't forget to sit down and set the parameters of your world. So what makes it steampunk? There is that time frame, and there is a certain level of technology that shouldn't be in that era.
Mhm,
So
mhm, mhm.
that's the whole point of steampunk.
And most importantly, have fun writing. Have fun writing because
Yes.
you can invent the technology. You can invent the machinery. Right.
I will
So
actually know when writers have fun when they're writing. You will really feel it when you're reading. Diba, sometimes you love this author, you look forward to their books every year they release
mhm.
one in that series. And sometimes when you read, something is a little off here. Yung parang napilitan lang siya ng
Something is
publisher niya kasi
missing.
deadline na.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Something is it's forced. Yes. Correct.
Parang forced. Yeah. So don't do
Mhm.
that. Don't force yourself. But it is a good practice to force yourself to write anything.
Mhm.
So if
Mhm.
feel ko na it's my writing time, so you have to set a writing time for you, especially if this is not your full-time job. You have to set a writing time. Sabihin mo, Sunday evening after dinner, I will devote at least 1 hour. I know someone who does
Mhm.
that. They will devote a minimum of 30 minutes, maximum of 3 hours every Sunday night to write. Kung wala siyang masulat, magsulat siya ng poetry. Kung wala, just word
Mhm.
vomit on Microsoft Word. Why? Because napapractice eh. So for me, if I'm not
Mhm.
writing anything specific, I'm actually world building. Because sometimes I come back to the story that I've already written, and then I have to like see if I'm consistent. So I
Mhm.
have to be
Mhm. Yeah,
consistent. You have to be consistent.
that's
That's
important.
another trait of a good writer, especially when you're doing a series of books. Because you cannot have, let's say, magic in one and then wala namang magic in the rest of the
Yeah.
book. You
Yes.
cannot have laser fire cannons when that's the first time you've introduced the laser fire cannon. Unless you really need to introduce that laser fire cannon, then you're going to have to explain it.
Mhm.
Then I have to come up with an explanation. So that's part of world building. And if there's one thing lumalabas ng aking pagka-teacher in, it is in world building.
Mm.
Di ba you took
Tsaka
up one
ano
of our
yun,
world building classes?
mhm.
I remember like
Um,
before, like years before, what nung early pa
yeah.
tayong friends. I think you took up
Yes.
some of our world building classes. Yeah.
2015, yes. Yeah, so
Yes.
yun nga, so si Maita kasi is, for those who don't know, when we were just starting out, a lot of my friends in the publishing, in the publishing, we kind of started together. And that was under Maita and her sister's direction. They had this anthology.
We're gonna do something
Anyway,
more with that. Wait lang kayo, guys.
yes,
Na ano
yes,
lang,
definitely.
na-stumble lang kami ngayong pandemic time, but we're going to regroup kasi right just ngayong pandemic, ang daming work. I don't know why. Ang
Mhm.
daming work and hindi pa rin matapos-tapos hanggang ngayon.
Tsaka
So
at
we're
least you
planning
focus on
something
our,
big.
our individual works. Yeah.
Yeah, we're planning
So,
something
what is
big. And
this?
yes, it will involve 8 letters then. Yay,
Yay! Thank
Cindy.
you. What is
Yeah.
this? That is advertisement scheme. What's that?
That's a quote from one of the stories.
Mm-hmm,
So the phantom kasi, he will test you. He will test you, especially if you need something. Hindi yan basta-basta,
mm-hmm.
"Oh, anong kailangan mo ito? Sige." No, he will test you. So, if makita niya, may
Parang ano
potential
'no,
ka, let's baptize
parang
him in
na-intriga
Steve.
na ako dun sa backstory ni Phantom. Parang sino ba
Oh,
'di
may
ba after
backstory siya.
reading meron dun sa books mo.
Ah, may
Ooh,
hints
which
na.
book is that? Ah,
The
okay.
Dollhouse. It's out. Sorry, wala akong ad pa, but it is already out, and it's also part of one of the anthologies in Tailcraft sa part
Mm,
3, the third
mm.
master story creation anthology. So the
Sige nga,
Dollhouse is set in Paris, and it will feature the younger the
the
younger
younger
Phantom
Phantom,
and
Kasi
his
gano'n 'yun, eh, ako
employer.
'di ba, pagka lagi ko na siya nakikita dito sa series na 'to, 'yun na yung sunod kong itatanong, ano kaya yung history niya, bakit siya gano'n? So, buti you got that covered. Hahanapin ko na yung dollhouse na
I am
'yan.
actually writing his not quite past lang, eh, yung parang as a book about him, but that one's gonna be
Oo,
full length kaya hindi pa tapos. Kasi
okey,
medyo
okey lang 'yun.
alam mo yun, it's my baby, mahirap i-release pa.
Yes, okey. It's
He'll actually
alright,
have a lot more adventures before I release that book. Gusto ko
mm.
yung parang tipong more than 20 books out, 30 books out before I
Wow.
release ko yun.
Ang dami niyang
Ipapaano
invest,
ko talaga.
ang dami niya naming mai-invest dun sa story. So sabi ko, nasaan na si Phantom, oh, 'di ba? But yun nga, I'm
Marami
really
pa
interested.
yan, marami pang
I might just
stories.
check out one on Amazon later
Mm,
since I can read one on Kindle. Anyway,
yeah.
thank you so much, Maita. Please do invite our audience, our readers, dun sa lahat ng stories niya. So universe ng Steam Theater.
Yep. So you can actually grab the list of all my books and my website. There's also free books there that are walang ano yan, walang strings attached. You can just go there and download whichever
Mhm.
you want. Pero yung mga nandun na free, short lang ha. They're just short kasi it's free. But I will keep adding to the free books kung may time. And
Mhm.
yes, it's also my blog. So go and see my list there. And for the print on demand that you can purchase, you can go to 8 letters na website. So Chris, can you tell
Yes.
them the link of the 8 letters na publishing?
Naku, hindi ko siya nakuha dito, but you can check it out on 8letters dot 8letters books. Steamerella, the title, Steamerella,
Yeah.
and that's how you
Yes.
can
I actually also
pre-order.
have
Meron
other
na doon.
titles with Cindy. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So hanapin nyo lang doon, please. And I think how long nga before they can get their books? I
So
think
you
it's
give
like
it 2 weeks.
a 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, give it two
So
weeks.
yeah,
Pero kung
Luzon,
yun na,
Visayas, or
for example,
Mindanao. Mm.
kung may
Yep.
stock na, mga yan, naka-ready naman na yun. So, you can get those copies faster. Okay. So thank you so much, Maita, and it's really nice to chat with you again. I mean, this chat is longer than the one that we had in MIBF. Sobrang, hi Maita,
Oo nga.
hi Chris, bye. Ganun lang kami mag-usap ni Maita no
Busy
last
ka din
week.
eh.
Booth.
This one's
Oo,
also
kasi
in 8 letters,
sobrang,
by the way. This
ah
one
yeah,
you can
my high
also
school.
get from 8.
I saw
Yes.
that.
This
Yeah.
is young adult contemporary romance.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no magic here, by the way, but it is based on fairy tales din. So
Mm-hmm.
example, My Little Mermaid girl, hindi siya mermaid. It's just that she's part of the swim team. Athlete siya ng
Mm-hmm.
swim team. Kaya mermaid, di ba?
Inspired
Yes.
by the fairy
Yep.
tales. Okay,
Yes.
but featuring fictional people in a contemporary world. Right. Grabe, sobrang productive. Ang dami mo nang naisulat. So, saan
Oo nga
kinukuha
eh.
yung CR, diba? Sana all. Okay, thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys. And we'll see you next week for another book talk, another afternoon of Chica about books and stories and publishing. Cindy will be back next week. Thank you so much, guys. And please do share this content, this video. And of course, check out Marita's
This
books
one.
from the Eight
You can
Letters Bookstore. Yes,
yes.
you can
Nahanap
check
ko na
it
yung
this
ano,
one.
the website. The 8 letters
Yeah.
na ano. Hanapin niyo lang po ko here. And I think you could also message the Facebook if you have
Mm-hmm.
inquiries.
If you want to order, yes, please do message us on our Facebook page, eight letters, or you can also send us an email. All right. So thank you so much, Maita, and to everyone, have a great weekend. Bye bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.